His name is Chico Kwangu from Angola. He's a black culture researcher. He deals with African culture, and that's what he studies in the university. And now I'm going to go on, dig in and ask him a few questions. How did you find out about Amy's sudden death?
I found out Amy's death when I was at home. Actually, I was studying at home, and then during my break, I was listening to radio, and then I was listening to LBC radio, and then on the news, I hear that Amy Winehouse died on a Saturday.
That's very good. That was on Saturday. That was on what day was it? What date was it?
It was Saturday.
Okay, last Saturday. Today is Tuesday. The next question I'm going to ask you: what did you like about Amy Winehouse's music?
I like very much her style. She had an artistic style, from the way she dressed, the hair. She had the hair, and then she had I would say she had a package of an artist, and also because her music, her voice. She had an amazing voice, and the voice she had was very unique and very, out of the normal.
Thank you. And as a black culture researcher from the university, what connections does Amy Winehouse have with black music, and does she have influence in black music?
If you look at if you listen to her albums, her first album Frank, and then Back to Black, you hear very much strong black influence. Because you feel the influence of soul, the influence of jazz, the influence of hip hop, the influence of jazz is very much present in Amy Winehouse music. Because of the strong history of black music, you see a very much black influence in our music, and it's very live, and then through the sound and her sound, the beats used in our music is although there is rock as well, there is also a very strong black music influence.
Okay, thank you, Chico Kwangu. The other question I was going to ask you: do you think Amy Winehouse contributed a lot to youngsters in self-belief that you can make it no matter what age? If you live your dream, you can make it in life or in sports or in music. How do you think Amy influenced the youngsters to become, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, Amy Winehouse, through her music, one can see she was a very passionate musician. One could see, that she came through a very strong struggle. To get to, the point where she got to develop her artistic style and her unique ways of producing music. She came out from a very hard working background, and then and also because being from Camden, because she grew up in Camden, and then the Camden influence, one can see that in her music she was a very determined, and to get to the point that her music sold 10 million albums, and obviously, from being from Camden, influenced very much in young black British musicians, and also the white musicians as well.
That's very good. Another question was, we cannot forget that because of Amy's death, it's all it's all rumors, but we can't forget that Amy had a drug abuse and alcohol abuse. What can you say about that?
Yes, as a musician, she was very creative, and for me, I'm very much focused and concerned in her music. I'm very much, interested to understand, her music and artistic influence. And I know she was involved in drug and alcohol because of her lifestyle. But I'm more focused on her creativity more than the downside that people speculating.
Excellent. The reason why I ask about the drugs and nicotine and drug abuse is we don't have Amy today because of the drugs. What do you think she should have done to avoid that kind of trend that she was heading to? Was it to do with friends or maybe?
All I can say is, as a musician, who got to the point that she was, you suffer a lot of pressure. There's a lot of pressure in terms of producing music, in terms of performing in gigs and festivals, because of your name. So what happened is, and also because of the industry in itself, the industry is a very sensitive and very pressured-like industry. So if someone is not strong, a person, can get into alcohol and drugs because of the influence of the artistic life.
Okay, we learned about Amy's death on Saturday. That's when we learned about her death. But previously, the week before, she had traveled on tour in Europe. She had gone to Belgrade.
Serbia.
Yeah, Serbia, that's Belgrade, to perform. Do you think the family would have advised her not to attend that gig because she was not ready? What do you think?
I cannot say about that, but all I can say is, she belongs to a record deal. She got a record label, so she signed a contract, and then within the contract, if they require her to go and perform in a tour in Europe, or in Serbia in this case, then if she went to do the performance, it means that she felt well enough to go and do the performance. So, but there's a rumors that are saying that her performance wasn't on a level. There are rumors that are saying that she did a very cool performance, but all I can say is she's the one, self to blame, really.
It's well documented that the father, we can never forget, that Amy's father tried very hard to guide her on the proper way, but unfortunately it was so difficult for her because she was going through a very tough period, and to get away from drugs is not something very easy. We should not forget that Amy was producing very good music, but the thing is, she's got a lot of thousands and thousands of young fans around the world. How do you think they're feeling right now for losing Amy?
I'm sure the fans are very sad because losing Amy is a great loss, and I'm sure people are very touched, by finding out about her death.
That's very evident because we can see so many people have just come outside her house to celebrate the life of Amy. And we should never ever forget what she did. How do you think this news will be? How do you think this news has been taken in America by the black community in America?
Amy Winehouse, especially in her second album, Back to Black, it created very strong impact in America, and then because of that, she had a very she had a through jazz and soul music, she had a strong people in America who follow and like her music, and then I'm very sure that people in America are very touched, because of we lost a great musician like Amy.
She was like one of us, isn't it?
Yes.
So it's so unfortunate. So, what advice would you give to her fans around the world?
All I can say about to her fans is, Amy is dead. She died, but I'm very sure that her music will still be with us. Her music and her spirits will be present with us. So to contemplate and to make us remember her and her legacy as a musician.
That legacy will live forever and ever. Is there any connection you would connect between Amy and Michael Jackson? Sudden death?
Amy and Michael Jackson, all I can say is because of the way she died and also the way Michael Jackson died. Because, Michael Jackson's death was to do with, he was very much under pressure because of the concerts that he had. And in the case of Amy, the way I see is that, for the past weeks, she had these problems in Serbia in a concert that she had, where she was under pressure, and also
there's a music record label.
Yeah, she had
the producers.
Yeah,
because they're there to make money.
Yeah, the music production. They're very much interested in profit and make money from the musician. So, and I feel that Amy was under pressure, to produce more music, to release her album, to perform in festivals and gigs, and I'm very sure that this had a very strong impact in her personality and her life.
Because Michael Jackson was asked by the producers to perform 50 shows in less than 2 weeks. In 1 month, to produce 50 shows at the age of 49, and he was not very well. Do you think they played a part in that? Because obviously they're there to make money, but because of the influence they have to their label, they have to sell records and they have to force these musicians, and they have no say. They can never say no because they're employed. So, what message would you give to the record? What lessons do you think the record labels need to learn from these kind of situations to avoid?
I think it's a very difficult question because record labels, they are there. It's a business.